a prime vision for future cities. But you just take a look around, it doesn't really seem that way.
China's ancient walls and sacred mountains are not just steeped in history, they're also shrouded in unsettling mysteries. It conceals places so chilling that even the bravest souls are left paralyzed with fear. From prehistoric animals to haunted cities to unspoken horrors, join us as we explore these eerie phenomena and uncover what keeps all of China in a state of fear. Ghostly whispers in the halls of power. A chilling secret lurks within the grandeur and history of Beijing's Forbidden City. The Forbidden City, a vast palace complex spanning 178 acres and comprising 980 buildings, served as the imperial residence and political center of China for nearly 500 years during the Ming and Qing dynasties. Its opulent halls and courtyards bore witness to the lives and deaths of countless emperors, empresses, concubines, and servants, many of whom faced untimely and often brutal ends. According to local legends, the ghosts of these unfortunate souls still wander the Forbidden City, their mournful whispers echoing through the ancient corridors. Visitors and staff have reported encounters with ethereal figures dressed in traditional imperial attire, their faces etched with sorrow and despair. Some have even claimed to hear the faint rustling of silk robes and the soft patter of footsteps in empty halls, as if the spirits were still going about their daily routines, forever trapped within the walls that once confined them. One particularly unnerving tale speaks of the ghost of a young concubine who was wrongfully accused of theft and executed on the orders of a jealous empress. Her spirit, filled with anguish and a thirst for vengeance, is said to haunt the northeastern corner of the palace, where her life was tragically cut short. Visitors to this area have reported feeling sudden chills and a sense of overwhelming dread, as if the concubine's pain and rage still lingered in the air. Perhaps the most infamous ghostly encounter in the Forbidden City occurred in 1983, when a skeptical man decided to put the haunted palace legends to the test. Under the cover of darkness, he scaled the walls and found himself inside the sprawling complex. However, as the night wore on, the man's disbelief turned to terror as he claimed to be relentlessly pursued by the spectral figures of young women, their faces illuminated by the eerie glow of lanterns. When the palace staff discovered him the following morning, the man was in a state of profound shock and fear, his once skeptical mind now forever haunted by the ghosts of the Forbidden City. A wall of sorrow and remembrance. But that's not the only city that keeps the Chinese in fear. In the heart of Nanjing, a city haunted by the ghosts of war, looms a chilling monument to one of humanity's darkest hours. The Nanjing Wall of Mourning, also known as the Nanjing Massacre Memorial, stands as a horrifying tribute to the estimated 200,000 souls brutally extinguished during the Japanese Army's merciless invasion and occupation in 1937. Opened in 1985, this sprawling 28,000 square meter necropolis is a journey into nightmare. Those who dare enter are immediately confronted with harrowing exhibits, twisted sculptures, and bone-chilling testimonies that drag them into the horror of the 6-week bloodbath known as the Nanjing Massacre. At the memorial's core, the Wall of Calamity towers over all, a massive granite monolith etched with over 10,000 names of the massacre's victims. Each name whispers its own tale of terror, the sheer scale of the wall a suffocating reminder of the carnage that once engulfed the city. As one delves deeper into this house of horrors, the true face of human depravity reveals itself. Graphic photographs sear themselves into the mind, while written accounts and personal artifacts paint a blood-curdling picture of unimaginable brutality. Stories of mass executions, torture chambers, and wanton destruction permeate the air, clinging like a miasma of despair. Perhaps most chilling is the account of the killing contest between Japanese officers Toshiaki Mukai and Tsuyoshi Noda. These demons in human form competed to be the first to behead 100 Chinese civilians using only their swords, their twisted game turning the streets of Nanjing into a real-life slaughterhouse. This act of inconceivable cruelty, sickeningly celebrated in Japanese newspapers at the time, serves as a stark reminder of how quickly humanity can descend into madness. But beware, some say the memorial is more than just a reminder of past horrors. Visitors have reported inexplicable cold spots, disembodied whispers, and a crushing sense of dread that follows them long after they've left. Some even claim to have seen shadowy figures darting between exhibits or heard agonized screams echoing through empty halls. Whether these are restless spirits or simply the weight of history pressing down, one thing is certain: a visit to the Nanjing Massacre Memorial is not for the faint of heart, and its chilling grasp may never fully release you. Secrets of the Shang unearthed. What's even more brutal is the Chinese funeral practices, and archaeologists have uncovered a new burial and sacrificial complex near the ancient Shang state's capital. The find, located just miles from the ruins of the once thriving city of Yin, has yielded a treasure trove of artifacts and insights into the lives and beliefs of the Shang people who ruled the region over 3,000 years ago. The complex, spanning an area of nearly 100 acres, consists of 28 tombs. Among these, 3 grand tombs stand out, their shapes mirroring the Chinese character Zhong, meaning loyal. These immense structures are believed to have belonged to high-ranking officials or members of the royal family, offering a rare glimpse into the hierarchy and social structure of the Shang state. But the true surprise lies in the sacrificial pits surrounding the tombs. Initial excavations revealed the remains of horses and other animals, a common practice in ancient Chinese burials. Animal sacrifices were deeply ingrained in these funerary rituals, reflecting the belief that the deceased needed companionship and resources in the afterlife. Horses, in particular, were highly valued and often buried with nobility to provide transportation in the next world. The animals were typically slaughtered as part of elaborate ceremonies, their bodies carefully arranged in the tombs alongside precious goods and artifacts. However, as archaeologists dug deeper, they made a chilling discovery: human remains intermingled with those of the beasts. This revelation sent shockwaves through the archaeological community, providing concrete evidence of human sacrifice in Shang funerary rituals. Human sacrifice, while shocking to modern sensibilities, was likely seen as the ultimate offering to the gods or the deceased. The Shang believed in a complex cosmology where the living could communicate with the dead and divine beings through ritual sacrifices. By offering human lives alongside animals, they may have been attempting to curry greater favor with the spirits or ensure more powerful protection for the deceased in the afterlife. These sacrificial victims were often prisoners of war, slaves, or lower-class individuals, their deaths serving to reinforce the social hierarchy both in life and beyond. The inclusion of both animal and human sacrifices suggests a complex system of ritual and offering, possibly aimed at ensuring the smooth passage of the deceased into the afterlife or appeasing powerful deities. The discovery also raises questions about the nature of Shang society and the role of ritual violence in maintaining social order. Whispers in the Temple of White Clouds. Beijing's Temple of White Clouds, the largest Taoist sanctuary in China, might be a spot of social order as well, because it's a place of spiritual contemplation. But beneath the tranquil surface, a chilling secret lurks. Legend has it that the temple is haunted by the restless spirits of monks who perished in a devastating fire in 1202 CE. Their whispers, it is said, can still be heard echoing through the ancient halls and courtyards. The Temple of White Clouds, also known as Baiyun Guan, has a history stretching back over 1,200 years. Founded during the Tang dynasty, the temple has been a center of Taoist learning and practice for centuries. Its sprawling complex, covering an area of over 60,000 square meters, is home to an array of halls, pavilions, and shrines, each steeped in centuries of spiritual tradition. But it is the tragic events of 1202 CE that have left an indelible mark on the temple's history. On that fateful day, a massive fire engulfed the complex, reducing much of it to ashes. The exact number of monks who perished in the blaze is unknown, but it is believed to have been significant. In the aftermath, the temple was rebuilt, but the scars of the tragedy remained. Today, visitors to the Temple of White Clouds report strange occurrences and eerie sensations. Some claim to have heard the faint chanting of monks, even when the temple is empty. Others speak of a pervasive sense of sadness and unease, particularly in the areas most heavily damaged by the fire. Some even claim to have caught glimpses of ghostly figures clad in the robes of Taoist monks, wandering the temple grounds. The enchanted realm of Canis Lake. But ghosts aren't the only thing haunting China. There's also frightening monsters. Nestled high in the Altai Mountains, where the borders of Russia, Mongolia, Kazakhstan, and China converge, lies Canis Lake, a shimmering expanse of turquoise water stretching over 17 miles. Beneath its pristine surface, legend has it, a creature akin to the fabled Loch Ness monster lurks, its origins steeped in centuries of mystery and fear. The tale of the Canis Lake monster dates back to the 13th century, with rumors suggesting that the mausoleum of Genghis Khan lies at the bottom of the lake, guarded by a ferocious lake god. But it was a chilling incident in the 1970s that truly ignited modern fears. A local herdsman, waking from a nap, found his 10 horses had vanished without a trace, leaving only hoof marks near the lake's edge and an ominous red tinge to the water. This unexplained event spawned terrifying theories of a monstrous predator lurking in the depths. The first official sighting came in 1980, reported by the state-run Guangming Daily. Forest ranger Jin Gang claimed to have spotted a giant red object over 15 meters long floating in the middle of the lake. His sighting sparked public concern and set off a week-long vigil that yielded no further glimpses of the elusive creature. Since then, eyewitness accounts have continued to surface, describing a long-necked, humped creature resembling the famous Loch Ness monster. Despite numerous investigations and sonar scans, no concrete evidence has been found. Some scientists suggest that the sightings could be attributed to large fish, such as the Siberian taimen, which can grow up to 6 feet in length. Others point to the possibility of undiscovered species or even prehistoric relics, such as plesiosaurs, surviving in the lake's isolated ecosystem. Enigmatic pipes of the mountain realm. Even more mysteries cloud China, specifically high in the mist-shrouded mountains of China's remote Qinghai province. The Baigong pipes, a series of ancient rusted metallic tubes that seem to jut out from the very rock itself, have confounded experts and fueled wild speculations since their discovery in 1996. The peculiar pipes, which range in diameter from a mere 1.2 inches to an impressive 15.7 inches, are scattered across the slopes of Mount Baigong, some extending deep into the mountainside, while others run along the surface before plunging back into the earth. The most striking feature of these enigmatic structures is their uncanny resemblance to artificially manufactured pipes, complete with uniform thickness, clean-cut right angles, and a deep, rusty hue that speaks of great age. The origins of the Baigong pipes have been the subject of intense debate among researchers, with theories ranging from the mundane to the fantastical. Some experts have suggested that the pipes could be the remnants of a long-forgotten industrial project, perhaps dating back to the early days of Chinese civilization. Others have proposed more outlandish explanations, such as the idea that the pipes are evidence of ancient alien visitation or the handiwork of a technologically advanced civilization that predates recorded history. However, geologists have put forth a more grounded theory, positing that the Baigong pipes are the result of natural geological processes. According to this hypothesis, the pipes were formed by the precipitation of iron-rich minerals from hydrothermal fluids that once flowed through the mountain's cracks and fissures. Over time, these mineral deposits accumulated, creating the pipe-like structures that now baffle and intrigue us. Despite the scientific explanations, the allure of the Baigong pipes has only grown stronger with each passing year. The idea that an ancient civilization, far more advanced than previously imagined, could have once called this remote corner of China home is a tantalizing prospect that captures the imagination of adventurers and truth-seekers alike. Adding to the mystery is the fact that some of the pipes seem to extend deep into the mountain, their true extent hidden from view. What secrets might these ancient conduits hold? Are they merely the product of geological happenstance, or could they be the key to unlocking a forgotten chapter in human history? As researchers continue to study the Baigong pipes, the truth behind their origin remains elusive, shrouded in the mists of time and the rugged terrain of Qinghai province. The silent sentinels of an emperor's tomb. Pipes are one thing, but to discover an entire ancient army, that's something that will keep you in fear of your country forever. In a discovery that sent shockwaves through the archaeological community, a group of farmers in China's Shanxi province unearthed one of the most astonishing finds of the 20th century: the terracotta army of Emperor Qin Shi Huang. This awe-inspiring collection of life-sized clay soldiers, numbering over 8,000 strong, had lain hidden beneath the earth for more than 2 millennia, guarding the first emperor of a unified China in his eternal slumber. The story began in 1974, when the farmers were digging a well near the city of Xi'an. As they worked, their shovels struck something hard and unyielding. Carefully excavating the area, they discovered a vast underground vault filled with ranks of clay warriors, each standing at attention, their faces frozen in expressions of fierce determination. The soldiers, arranged in battle formation, were accompanied by horses, chariots, and a vast array of weapons, all crafted with exquisite detail. As archaeologists descended upon the site, they marveled at the sheer scale and complexity of the terracotta army. Each figure, standing at an average height of 6 feet, was unique, with distinct facial features, hairstyles, and expressions. The level of craftsmanship was astounding, with intricate details such as the folds of the soldiers' robes and the treads of their shoes carefully rendered in clay. The terracotta army, it was discovered, was just one part of a vast cemetery built to serve Emperor Qin Shi Huang in the afterlife. The emperor, who had unified China through conquest and brutality, was obsessed with achieving immortality. In his quest to cheat death, he commissioned the construction of a grand tomb complex filled with all the trappings of his earthly power. The otherworldly allure of Wanglong Cave. Having an undead army to protect you in the afterlife is otherworldly. But in the heart of Hunan province, there's a place that seems to blur the line between reality and the supernatural. Wanglong Cave, known to locals as Hangdong, whispers ancient secrets through its vast underground maze. This massive cave system, stretching over 15 kilometers and reaching heights of 140 meters, isn't just a natural wonder. It's a place steeped in legend and mystical energy. While scientists explain the cave's enormous size through millions of years of water erosion, locals whisper far more intriguing tales. These stories, passed down through generations, paint Wanglong Cave as a center of spiritual power. Some say ancient gods once roamed these caverns, blessing the stone with their divine presence. Others tell of a powerful Taoist master who made the cave his home, using its secluded chambers for deep meditation and mystical practices. Whatever the truth, many believe an otherworldly energy still pulses through the rock, drawing seekers and skeptics alike to its shadowy depths. The cave offers 2 paths: longevity and happiness. Visitors are told to choose carefully, as each path is said to bring its own mysterious toll. But be warned, not everyone leaves these winding passages unshaken. Some people feel a creeping sense of dread, a fear they can't explain. Is it just the fear of tight spaces, or is something more sinister at work? Local stories tell of unseen forces that reach out from the shadows, their icy touch sending chills down the spines of unsuspecting visitors. Modern lights now fill the cave, casting an odd glow on the ancient rock shapes. The lights make the hanging rocks look like they're glowing as if they've been standing guard for thousands of years. As people float along the underground river, it's hard to tell where reality ends and imagination begins. Each turn in the cave might bring wonder or terror. Now it's time for today's subscriber pick. Recently, a discovery was made that reveals what keeps all of China in fear. One morning, along the banks of the Qinhuai River, locals were stunned to find strange humanoid bodies meticulously arranged in precise lines, as if someone had deliberately placed them. Authorities swiftly removed the bodies, and since then, no information has surfaced. The mystery has left people questioning. What were these figures, and why has the government shrouded the event in secrecy? Share your thoughts in the comments below. Secrets beneath the streets, Beijing's underground city. A city is anything but quiet, tranquil, and spiritual, but still, below Beijing's bustling streets, a silent, hidden realm exists. The underground city, an expansive network of tunnels and chambers, stretches over 18 miles in secretive darkness. This subterranean labyrinth, once a closely guarded military installation, now whispers tales of a nation gripped by Cold War fears. Its winding passages and cavernous rooms stand frozen in time, echoing with the ingenuity and paranoia of an era when nuclear threats loomed large. In the late 1950s, as tensions between China and the Soviet Union reached a fever pitch, Chinese leaders set in motion an ambitious and terrifying plan. Fearing the possibility of a nuclear strike, they ordered the construction of a massive complex of bomb shelters. Over the next decade, an army of workers toiled in secret, carving out a sprawling network that would eventually span an area of over 53 square miles. The result was a true underground city, complete with everything needed to sustain life in the event of a catastrophe. Hospitals, schools, theaters, and even a skating rink were built into the complex, along with stockpiles of food, water, and other essential supplies. The tunnels, reinforced with concrete and steel, were designed to withstand the blast of a nuclear bomb, while sophisticated ventilation systems ensured a constant supply of fresh air. For years, the underground city remained a closely guarded secret, known only to a select few. But as tensions with the Soviet Union cooled and the threat of nuclear war receded, the complex was gradually abandoned, its chambers and tunnels falling into disrepair. In the 1980s, as China began to open up to the world, the government started leasing out sections of the underground city to entrepreneurs and small businesses, transforming the once secretive facility into a bustling commercial hub. The haunting allure of Wonderland. Not as secretive, but just as gargantuan and scary is Wonderland. Sprawling across 100 acres on Beijing's outskirts, a grand vision crumbles into decay. Wonderland, once poised to become Asia's largest amusement park, now stands abandoned, a stark monument to unfulfilled dreams. Conceived as a fantastical rival to Disneyland, this ill-fated venture promised families an escape into a realm of magic and wonder. But as construction began in 1998, the dream quickly turned into a nightmare. Disputes over land rights and funding soon brought the project to a standstill, leaving the park's colorful facades and towering spires to slowly decay in the harsh Beijing weather. Today, Wonderland is a ghost town, its unfinished rides and crumbling structures a haunting reminder of what might have been. Despite its state of disrepair, Wonderland exerts a strange pull on those who dare to venture into its depths. Some come seeking adventure, drawn by the thrill of exploring an abandoned wonderland. Others come in search of answers, hoping to uncover the secrets behind the park's untimely demise. But all who enter Wonderland cannot help but feel a sense of unease, as if the park itself were alive and watching, its broken dreams and shattered hopes echoing through the empty streets. A symphony of stone and spirit. Other conspiracies arise when confronted with Maijishan, a sprawling complex of Buddhist cave temples, intricately carved into the Qinling Mountains' sheer cliffs, captivating with its serene beauty and rich history. Yet beneath the tranquil facade, enigmas lurk. Unexplainable symbols and perplexing architectural features whisper ancient secrets, challenging modern understanding. For centuries, these mysteries have tantalized scholars and adventurers alike, their true meanings stubbornly elusive. The story of Maijishan begins over 1,500 years ago, during the Northern Wei and Sui dynasties. According to legend, a group of wandering monks came upon the site and were struck by its natural beauty and spiritual energy. They began to carve temples and shrines into the cliffs, using only hand tools and their own sweat and blood. Over the centuries, generations of monks and artisans continued their work, creating a stunning array of over 7,000 Buddhist statues, paintings, and inscriptions that stretch across more than 30,000 square feet of cave walls. But as visitors wander through the twisting passageways and soaring chambers of Maijishan, they cannot help but feel a sense of unease, as if the caves themselves are alive and watching. The air is cool and damp, filled with the faint echoes of chanting and the flickering light of candles. And everywhere they look, they are greeted by the enigmatic faces of countless Buddhas and Bodhisattvas, each one seeming to hold a secret just beyond the reach of mortal understanding. For the monks who created Maijishan, these secrets were not meant for the uninitiated. Many of the statues and paintings contain hidden symbols and gestures known as mudras. that were used to convey profound spiritual truths to those who had undergone years of rigorous training and initiation. To the untrained eye, these mudras may seem like nothing more than artistic flourishes, but to those who know their true meaning, they are a gateway to a deeper understanding of the universe and the self. The grim allure of the ghost city. The Chinese start to understand themselves better when they are confronted with the city of Chongqing, because it questions exactly who they are. Fengdu, known as the City of the King of Hell, is a macabre wonderland of temples, tombs, and ghostly legends. According to ancient Chinese beliefs, this is where the spirits of the dead come to be judged, their fates decided by the King of Hell himself. The city's origins are steeped in myth and mystery. Legend has it that two imperial court officials, Yin and Wang, became Taoist recluses here over 2,000 years ago. Through their spiritual practices, they attained immortality and became the rulers of the underworld. Today, their names are still invoked by those who come to Fengdu seeking blessings from the other side. As visitors enter the city, they are greeted by a towering statue of the Ghost King, his face twisted in a grotesque grimace. This 138-meter-tall monstrosity, carved into the face of a cliff, is said to be the largest sculpture of its kind in the world. But it is only the beginning of the horrors that await those who dare to venture deeper into Fengdu's haunted streets. But perhaps the most chilling aspect of Fengdu is the Ghost Torturing Pass, a narrow pathway lined with statues depicting the gruesome punishments that await sinners in the afterlife. Here, the damned are shown being boiled alive, sawed in half, and subjected to all manner of unspeakable tortures. The echoes of war at Lugu Bridge. Even more chilling is a centuries-old bridge just outside the bustling city of Beijing. The Lugu Bridge, also known as the Marco Polo Bridge, is a stunning example of ancient Chinese architecture, with its 11 arches spanning over 800 feet across the Yongding River. But beneath its serene exterior lies a haunting legacy of violence and bloodshed. The bridge's story begins in the 12th century during the Jin dynasty. According to legend, it was built by the famous Italian explorer Marco Polo, who was so impressed by its beauty that he wrote about it in his travelogues. But the bridge's true claim to fame would come centuries later, during the fateful summer of 1937. On the night of July 7th, a small skirmish broke out between Chinese and Japanese troops stationed near the bridge. The incident, which later became known as the Marco Polo Bridge Incident, quickly escalated into a full-scale battle, marking the beginning of the Second Sino-Japanese War. Over the next 3 months, the two sides fought fiercely for control of the bridge, with the Japanese eventually emerging victorious. But the cost of that victory was high. Thousands of soldiers on both sides lost their lives in the fighting, their bodies littering the riverbanks and clogging the waters beneath the bridge. And for the people of Beijing, the incident was just the beginning of a long and brutal occupation that would last for the next 8 years. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.